Good morning, students. I am R. Deepa, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Commerce, Arulmigu Palani Andavar Arts College for Women, Palani. Today we are going to see about what is e-commerce and their classification. First of all, we are going to see what is the term e-commerce mean. E-commerce is nothing the transactions are buying and selling of goods and services through internet, or we can transmit the money through online banking like Google Pay, Phone Pay or net banking. Any transactions made through internet is known as electronic commerce. Next, electronic commerce is classified into different types. Now we are going to see about the difference between traditional commerce and e-commerce. Traditional commerce means we want to go for if we want to purchase the products or goods, we want to go for that place and then we made the purchase. But in electronic commerce, within the place, if we have online, we can purchase the goods and services or transmit the fund in anywhere, anytime. E-commerce provides 24 into 7 banking services. We can access 24 hours 7 days per week. That is major difference between traditional commerce and e-commerce. In traditional commerce, we want to spend more time, but in electronic commerce we need not to spend time. Within the home we can make purchase. In traditional commerce we have to spend transportation cost separately, but in electronic commerce we cannot, we no need to spend money for the transportation cost. This is the major difference between traditional commerce and electronic commerce. Now we can see about the classification of e-commerce. E-commerce can be classified into different types, that is majorly business to business, business to consumer, consumer to consumer, consumer to business, business to government. Next, consumer to government. This is the major classification of e-commerce. First we going to see about business to business e-commerce. In this, the business to business e-commerce, the transaction is made through only the business partners. That is simply defined as the transaction is made between the companies. This e-commerce deals with relationship between the businessmen. The business to business market has primary component like e-markets. In the e-market, the both businessmen they deal their purchasing of goods and services through the online. Main dealing with businessman only, that is called business to business e-commerce. Next, business to consumer. In this, the transaction is made through businessman and the consumers, that is between companies and consumers. It involves mainly the customer gathering the information. They can gather information and they can purchase the goods, or they receive the goods or services through the online. If we made transaction through online, then we can get the product through online itself. This is called business to consumer e-commerce. Next, business to government e-commerce. In the business to government e-commerce, it generally defined as the transaction between companies and the public sector. The main transaction that took between the private, the public sector and the companies is mainly defined as the business to government. It refers to the use of internet for public procurement, licensing procedures and other government related operation. Then if the example is mainly they are usually used to pay taxes. Next, services to the government agencies, file reporters. These are the major example for the business to government. Next, consumer to consumer e-commerce. The consumer to consumer e-commerce is the transaction is made between the private individuals or consumers. They deal with mainly the two consumers meet each other and the transaction is made between them is known as consumer to consumer e-commerce. Next, consumer to business e-commerce. Like consumer to business e-commerce means the transaction is made through consumers, that is individuals. They can create their own value and firms and consume this value. They consume what they get the value from the market. That is mean by consumer to business e-commerce. Next, government to business. The government regulates businesses for many reasons. They mainly include some of the reasons that includes revenue. Next, to control the balance between import and export or industry protection. Next, government to government. These mainly include two government organizations met each other and they made transaction between the two government departments and authorities and other government organization. Example is igovernment.com. This is the classification of e-commerce. Thank you, students.